This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Skip Money.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast of East Tennessee and Western North Carolina. So I am very excited today to have a very special guest in the studio for the first time, and I'm sure you will be just as excited as I am to learn all about them and their enterprise, because today I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Miss Alicia McDonald, who is a broker at Ivester Jackson Blackstream Properties. Alicia, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks. Yep.
Well, like I said, we're glad to have you and excited to learn all about you and Ivester Jackson Blackstream. Now, do you go by Ivester Jackson Blackstream or is it IJB?
So it's actually Christie's International Real Estate. So Ivester, Jackson, Blackstream are the three partners that own the franchise here in Western North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
But the firm is Christie's International Real Estate.
Christie's International. Well, my apologies. I will make sure we cover that. So, again, glad to have you here. And why don't you kick us off by telling us all about your business?
Yeah, so I've just personally branded my own business within the affiliation of Christie's. So my brand is Real Luxury Life. So it's a real estate business that I operate here in Western North Carolina under the affiliation of Christie's International Real Estate. And I support folks in the process of buying and selling homes and investment properties.
Very good. And what was the name of your business?
Real Luxury Life.
Say that one more time.
Real Luxury Life.
Real Luxury Life. Very good. Well, Alicia, how did you get here? Why don't you tell us about your journey?
You know, my journey really started with being in service to others with my first job with Make-A-Wish Foundation. And then from there, after college, I went on to join the banking sector, and I worked closely with supporting the lending departments as the vice president of marketing. And then I took a step back from my corporate career to raise a family. And I naturally transitioned my skills into real estate sales about 11 years ago. I absolutely love assisting my community in housing transitions, because through life, I've experienced those same changes that spark the need for new housing, like relocation and settling estates, upgrading, downsizing, and investing too. I have a good understanding of what my clients are navigating, and that's partly why I'm able to be successful in helping them reach their goals.
Very good. Well, tell us, and I'm sure there's plenty of these, tell us about any myths or misconceptions that you can think of in your industry.
You know, I can think of two that I'd like to share. One, sometimes sellers believe overpricing their property leaves a buffer to negotiate the actual sales price that they really want. But often it'll leave their property to sit on the market for a much longer timeline, and then they'll be faced with having to process price reductions. So the best approach is really to price it accurately from day one and then maximize on the initial showings as a new listing on the market. And then the second is that sometimes buyers believe they have to have a substantial down payment in hand to purchase. There's a number of lending programs that cater to 0 to 5% down. There are qualifications to meet, just like any loan, but I always encourage buyers to explore these options because often they're surprised by their own capabilities.
So there sounds like there's tons of misconceptions going on in the
I mean, I think we could probably go on and on, but I think that those are probably two that might be helpful to your listeners.
There you go. Very good. Well, that's what we're looking for. So we all know that marketing is the heart of every business. Who are your target customers and how do you attract them?
So my target clients are buyers and sellers that are ready to begin and explore the process. And that also includes real estate investor clients. So regardless of whether we're just in that exploration phase or if they're really ready to get up and going, I'm able to assist them from step one, exploring, figuring out the lending process, comparative market analysis for appropriate pricing for their home. Or I've done a lot of help with investor clients with cap rate analysis, rental market analysis, when they're investing in the Western North Carolina market.
Wow, that sounds pretty specialized, actually, to be able to do that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of layers to be able to service your community in the real estate industry. We really need to stay on top of being educated and knowledgeable. Of course, all of the market data. And then just really being a local and knowing the area, the community, the offerings, the changes, what's happening from any kind of new upgrades, fundamental investments, the changes in laws. So it's fun. It's fun to continue to stay knowledgeable and have kind of a finger on the pulse of it all. But what I really love about it is supporting people in the transition.
Very good. Well, you sound like you're extremely busy most of the time, but when you're not, what do you like to do for fun?
Well, as much as I love selling homes, I love being at home, homesteading and walking the trails and welcoming guests. But I also love to travel, and I love attending live music events too.
Very well, you live in a great place for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So let's switch gears for just a second. Can you describe a hardship or a life challenge that you've gone through, either personally or professionally, and came out stronger on the other side? Does anything come to mind?
I think if I can roll it all the way back to when I was a kid, I was really overweight. I loved eating and I loved sugar. And I was mercilessly ridiculed for it. But I just knew I wasn't a bad person because I was heavy. So with my family's support and love, I was able to brush off the bullies and still find a way to love myself. Eventually I lost the weight, but I didn't lose myself. I was still the same happy gal. And that experience has transcended through my adult life. I know when I'm getting beat up by the world, that can't change my loving spirit. I'll always have that inside of me.
Very good. Well, you look great, by the way. Yeah, absolutely. So if Alicia, if you could think of one thing that you would like our listeners to remember about you and about Christie's International and Real Luxury, what would that be?
The one thing I really want to convey is that my luxury real estate business is not defined by value. It's defined by the level of service. I believe luxury standards are steeped in quality service, accessibility, knowledge, expertise. So whether you're $1 million client or a first-time home buyer, I do not waver in providing luxury level service to all of my clients.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Luxury level service, no matter who you are. That's awesome. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
Christie's is the global luxury brand, established. I feel like Christie's really established the luxury brand. And so joining that firm, obviously I'm working in the luxury sector, but my sphere, my community still includes everybody. I love first-time home buyers because it's the biggest transaction of your life. It's very stressful. And I love holding that hand and helping them get through that really stressful transaction. And so I do want to make sure that your listeners know that, while I'm affiliated with a luxury brand, while I'm an expert in luxury marketing, I still want to help all of my community, whether you're at that $1 million level or whether you're the first-time home buyer. And so when I had to really think about how I defined my luxury business, I really had to drill it down to service. at the end of the day, I think that's really what makes the major difference between me and any of my competitors. So yeah, it really is luxury level service, more than the value of the property.
Very good to know. And awesome, by the way. Service means everything to me, honestly. And so if we have any listeners or viewers that are interested, they're potential first-time home buyer, an investor looking in Western North Carolina, how can they learn more?
They can go to my website, realluxury.life, and then learn more about my services, and of course, contact me from there. I would just love to support any of your listeners and their family.
All right. Well, you heard it here, folks. You need a home, or you want to sell a home? Here's your contact right here. So I can't tell you, Alicia, how much I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to hang out with us and tell us all about Christie's International Real Estate, as well as Real Luxury, your own brand. And we wish you and your family and your partners all the best moving forward.
Thank you, Skip. Thanks for taking the time with me today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate it. Maybe we can have you back sometime.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. Sounds good. See you then.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnptry-cities.com. That's gnptry-cities.com or call 423-719-5873.